Morning. Going to play some wedding music. Yeah! All right, let me reload my coffee and we'll get her on. Get on with it. Hey, it sounds like a Trump rally. Good morning. Welcome to Forex.Today, the YouTube community of more than 21,000 foreign exchange traders. We gather here today to conduct technical and fundamental analysis with an overriding goal of planning our trades in advance because trading is risky, yet appropriate for everyone. Past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. Please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, never risk money you cannot afford to lose. Hang on a second, I need to log in so that I can see the chat. Sorry, old chap, old boy. Let's see, there it is. There it is. So good morning. Let me get back to the stream. Bada bing, bada boom. So welcome. My name is Wayne. I'll be your guide on this journey we call Forex. My formal education is in economics and finance. Been trading over 20 years. I advise a publicly traded ETF. I advise charitable endowments. I wrote a book. I'm the founder of traders.com, FX Bootcamp, Investor Bootcamp, Quant Box. Yep. What else? I docked the space shuttle at the International Space Station while employed by NASA. I sat on a board of directors with George Soros. Anything else interesting? Not really. Spent 20 years, 30 years in nonprofit. Hmm. Yeah, so anyways, cool. That's me. And I'm going to rock your world. Yeah, I got some aces up my sleeve for those that want to be part of TRADARS. Use this for market sentiment, fundamental analytics, technical analytics, performance coaching, execution, and funding. Yeah, we offer everything all in one spot now. So let's get an update and find out what's going on in the world.
A fly in the AI capex ointment.
UK's Reeves. Real disposable income to grow this year at nearly twice the rate forecast in October. US dollar Swiss franc stuck in range as traders' eye break out above key resistance. US dollar edges higher after upbeat durable goods numbers.
Euro at US dollar price forecast. Pressure mounts as uncertainty weighs. K's OBR. We now expect real GDP growth of 1.0% this year.
Oil prices rise, US crude inventories plunge, Russia-Ukraine truce-side.
Euro US dollar faces pressure as US dollar remains firm amid Trump tariff fears.
US stocks may lack direction in early trading.
UK's Reeves. We now expect GDP growth of 1.0% this year.
Thank you for the update. So, kind of look backwards here in time. CPI in Australia, a little less than expected. Interesting. Inflation in Great Britain, a little less than expected. Durable goods, 0.9. It's a beat. We expected something negative. We beat it, boy. Look at that. We beat it. We beat it. We beat it. Does that matter? I don't know. Take out transportation because a lot of that is airplanes. And it was 0.1. We expected 0.2. It was 0.7. Oh, my God. And then ex-defense, which is like literally taking out the military. And, well, the military was buying a lot of stuff from the manufacturing sector, huh? But now we got peace in the Ukraine. We need a lot less bombs. So it went from 3.7 to 0.8. But that's a beat because we thought it'd be negative 0.6. Like we thought this would be dropping by 50%. In this case, it just it grew a little bit. So anyways, big difference between 3.7 and 0.8. Yeah. Yeah, baby. Yeah. And we got retail sales tomorrow in Spain. Good. So durable goods came out an hour ago. It was greater than expected, greater than -1. And no scalp on pound dollar, but there is a scalp on USD CAD potentially. USD Swiss franc, but I don't want to trade that. USD yen, no scalp. So the only thing to scalp, USD CAD, long. But we know CAD's been strong the last day or two. That's a pretty mediocre opportunity. But let's take a look. And we have a 75% chance that the 2-hour trend will be up if the actual is greater than -0.1. And boom, green candle. You can't handle the truth. Oh, my God. So that's what's happened in the past. 75% of the time in a scenario just like the one we had, we got green candles and we have green candles. So that just paid for a whole month's worth of service right then and there, huh? That's what I think it is. Cool, 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 cool. La-di-da-di-da. So that's kind of nice to know. You can kind of do some further analysis on this. And the implied high is around here. Okay, this is the hourly, so we're just inside this little thing here. So just the news came out not long ago. Okay, gave us some bullishness in the past. 75% of the time it continued. We don't know if that's going to happen this time. This is definitely bearish. Like I said, CAD's been strong the last few days. But at the very least, if the pattern inside the news vol, okay, remains, okay, then you might get a scenario like this, huh? Maybe. It won't reverse the situation, but that's maybe for now. What do you guys think about that? We have about 2 more hours left in trading this asset before we start to lose vol. That means the market's likely to not trend anymore. You only got about 2 more hours. Cool. So you're supposed to trade this starting around 7 a.m. Oh my God, that's when I meet with our team. Yeah, very cool. And then it fizzles out, right around London close. Oh, that's not a shocker. Okay. Cool, right? Look at this, though. Asia. Okay. And then London, New York. And then, right, everything. And then everything closes out. There's a little blip at the end of the day. This is the New York close. Huh? New York close. Okay. New York open. London close. Asia open. Okay. So this is really, I think it's London boys front running or Asia front running London boys, but the vol kicks in. So the actual open of the London stock market is here. So you can see there's a move here, isn't there? Pre-London. And then it fizzles out. And then London lunch. Okay, London close. US lunch. And then we fall. And then US close. Cool, right? And then a little Asia. Cool. So you got pre-London, pre-New York, London close, New York close, Asia open. Nice. It all makes sense. It's right as rain. But that's just Wednesdays. You can see Mondays are better. Thursday, tomorrow's probably going to be better than today. What do you think? Smell good? Here it is zooming in. Time to trade, not a good time to trade. Good time to trade, not a good time to trade. Good time to trade, not a good time to trade. Good time to trade, not a good time. So Asia open, New York open, London open, and New York close gets involved. That's it. Cool. Good, 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 good. But do you do this? Do you pay attention to the time of day? So what we do here is during these good times, you get a high score. High, 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 high. Pretty much everything's good at the open. But throughout the day, this is going to change depending on how the asset performs. So you'll find that the Asian currencies tend to do better in Asia because they tend to use Asian currencies in Asia. APAC, baby. So there's a time of day to be trading Aussie and Kiwi that are better than other times. Let's say. Okay. But everything right now is pretty good. So are you buying dips in the ASX? Okay. If you're in the mode of buying dips, okay, then this is your first move. And then that's your next move. Okay. Look at this collapse. Maybe the market closes, huh? So fizzle, 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 fizzle. Hey, what time of day should you be trading the Australian Stock Exchange? I don't know. I'm not good at math. What do you think? Guess what? That's Asia Open. So the best time to trade the Australian stock market, Asia Open, New York Open. You might be doing the right thing at the wrong time. Does anybody find this information helpful? Is it important to know you're doing the right thing at the wrong time? Do you think it impacts your results to put in a good trade at the wrong time? You have to have the data. So what I would do if I were me is I would go through all the things I like to trade and put them in order. Analytically, when is the best time and best day to trade your top 10 assets? Can you imagine? Bzz, bzz. Oh, I gotta go. ASX is opening pretty soon. I'm going to front run that puppy. I'm going to buy on the implied low. Oh my God, I just taught you how to day trade. We call that the Asia fade, by the way. The Asia fade, yeah. Well, the thing is, once you know, you know. Like, isn't it amazing? If you look back to the beginning of your career, and I'm not saying you specifically, Mike, but all of us, there was probably a time when you got into trading and you found a little bit of success, and then you're like, dude, I think I figured this out. And now I've opened a Pandora box, and you're like, holy schnicker, I don't know jack. You're like, there's just so much I didn't know. Yeah, but now you know. Now it's at your fingertips. It's what you do with it. How do you convert this into action? See, that's what's important. So I don't know if anyone will take this advice, but if I were me, I would organize my week by the assets I want to trade and the best days and the best times to trade them and put them on a calendar. You might be making great ASX trades at the wrong time of day. So look at this. Okay? Can you see this? What we're saying is, okay, this is probably a decent time to be trading this sucker. And even though the last few hours have gone up, which is this period, it's probably just going to fizzle out and this implied range is going to tighten. And really, what did you do the last 12 hours? Nothing. It went up, it kind of came down, went up, and now it's going to fizzle and fizzle and fizzle and fizzle. And you went long. And you're like, dude, I was long this thing for 16 hours and nothing happened. Well, how about watch this collapse, which is 2 to 3 hours of collapse. Oh, like that one? Uh-huh. And then what? Buy. And now you're done for the day. Done. All you have to do is be a bull and buy at support. Now, implied volatility is non-directional. I'm a bull on ASX. That's that. Why? It's trending up. There might be other things that you don't like about it. It's fair. But I can analyze this technically and say, well, it's bullish. Whether you like it or not, it's bullish. It is what it is. So I can buy it a dip at support. Okay. And by the way, this is not based on technical analysis. This is measuring the normal range of a day in the life of ASX. It just every hour it updates, right? But it's not looking at this and saying that's going to be the low. It's looking at ASX going back weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. What does it do this hour? This hour of this day. What does it do over 4 hours? This particular 4 hours on this particular day. So on and so forth. So it's really clever, isn't it? Yeah. But it's non-directional. So if you're a bull, that was probably a good buy a dip opportunity. You know that this is the best time of day to trade it. You buy it and you drop, right? You pop a lot, drop a stop, take a walk. You're done, son. You just did a day trade. But if it truly is trending, that's not the target. That's just the daily target. Maybe you have other technical analysis you can do that say, oh, well, this is going to go up for 2 more days, 2 more weeks, 2 more months. Oh, microphone drop. Dude, amateurs are not going to be able to compete against you. I hope you see that you can make institutional quality decisions. Yeah. I have a question for you, though. What do you think is more exciting? You ready? You sign up for traders.com, use us for execution, and you get a rebate. Or you sign up for traders.com, okay? You use us for execution, and you get a discount. What is better? Yeah. The rebate, I think, would be large. Yeah, but see, Derek, I don't like that attitude. I want you to sign up because there's an amazing amount of information and data that you absolutely, totally need to survive and thrive as a trader and investor. You're like, I can't trade without this. That's what I. No, Afro again, first month free so we can make some money and continue. No, go find a prop firm, pay the $60, they'll make you a millionaire. Um, sorry, bro. If you need to trade successfully to pay for a service, you're not ready. And that's honest advice. This is a sport of kings and queens, you know? After a tough day of trading, you should go to a polo match and drink champagne. Um, if you're struggling to pay a couple $100, you're, in my humble opinion, you're not ready. Yeah, you should get a second job. You should save your money. You should put that into training, get some skills, and then save some more money and put that into a savings account that you can use one day after a couple of years of training and education, and you actually have skills in trading. You've also saved some money, so you got 5 grand, and then I can help you out. You know what I mean? Right. So that's what I thought, Denise. Like, due to your for those that have a smaller trading account or that only do 2 or 3 trades a day, I thought, well, maybe I can do it that way and it'll save me time so that only basically the prop firm, you know what I mean? The prop firm people get a cash rebate. So it's, and for those that are still in, smaller volume sizes, I'm like, you know what? Well, if you use our execution, I'll go ahead and give you a discount. Just why not? Right? Maybe it's an encouragement so that you don't have to see if you don't have a lot of money and you don't have a lot of experience. I don't want you to place trades just so you get a rebate. I'm starting to hear that from a lot of people. I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. That doesn't make sense to me. You know what I mean? That doesn't make sense to me. You're going to take risk to try to get to like $99. I don't like that. So, Steve, if you're doing 2 or 3 mini lots a day, yeah. If you're doing less than that, no, no, there's nothing. You know. But if you're doing more volume than that, so like those that are in my prop fund will have 25,000 in equity. They put in 5 and they get a 20,000 equity boost, and from that they're possibly trading, let's say, 5 trades a day with 2 mini lots, maybe. Some of them are scalps, some of them are swings, some are positions. But as long as you jam your stop at break even and reduce your risk, now you can enter another trade. And when you get that to break even, you can get another trade. And you're just much more actively trading. And you have more experience under your belt. When you're at that level, you're going to get about $200 a month rebate. The cost of the program is $300. I've got some extra bonuses too that are going to really tickle your fancy. But as you grow your account, so now you grow it from 25 to 35,000, you decide not to withdraw it, but now continue to grow it, which I recommend. you might get to the point where you're earning the full $300 back. So it kind of incentivizes you to hang on and grow the account. Okay, cool. So now TRADARS is completely free. The prop firm is completely free. The equity boost is free. Performance coaching is free. you know, and these new little upgrades or bonuses, I guess you'd call them, those are going to be free. You're just like, now you're making money. You're a professional trader. You're growing your trading account and costs nothing for you. You're a huge success. And we're good friends. So that I'm playing around with that. Maybe that's better for most people. A smaller discount, most for people that are only trading 2 or 3 mini lots a day. If you're not doing that, then no, can't get. Right. So, anyways, that was my meditation. Meditated twice yesterday, so I think it was the second one yesterday. I'm like, oh, well, maybe that'll be the day. Huh? Cool. So that's my thought. And then when you're ready to grow, uh, move up to the prop fund, great. Cool. And I think also thinking out loud, it keeps people from doing the prop fund because they just want that equity boost. And then they'll figure it out. I'll make money and I'll figure it out. You're not ready. You're not ready. So I'm incentivizing you. Look, take the discount because the prop fund with TRADARS is a $300 monthly expense. Yeah, it's TRADARS with a free prop fund. Cool. Okay, you see, I want to keep degenerate gamblers away. Yeah, this is for serious business people. So this is how to use this tool. I hope you're enjoying that. You're starting to use that better. We looked at the news radar too, and that showed USD kitty cat up, which was great based on statistics. It usually goes up in a scenario like that. So it's a great event driven volatility. So you could have an event strategy going on, right? Yeah. Ooh, collapsed on us. Oh, yeah. All right, cool. It's nice that these are live charts, huh? Yeah. All right. Yeah, let's do a look around the world. Is the stock market open? Oh, yeah. All right, S&P 500, kind of flattish. Oh no, 3.5. Keeps going up. I don't want that. I want it to go down. Bitcoin. Ooh, Bitcoin dropped. We analyzed this earlier. It was way up, and now it's way down. What's going on? Huh? We got some bidding news. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. You know, one of the things I used to do, like when you saw a big move, like Bitcoin just dropped a ton of bricks, right? I'm like, oh my God, what just happened? So you go to Google and you do a Google search, like what just happened to Bitcoin, right? Uh, there's a solution to that problem now. You can just go here, and this shows you all the important headlines that just came out over the last few minutes. Pound sterling slumps after UK budget update. A note for caution on market-based inflation expectations.
Euro US dollar falls to key swing area support zone, with sellers eyeing the 200-day moving.
So I don't see any. I don't see any Bitcoin-related news here. So that helps because it just pulled from a bunch, like a dozen different websites. Nobody has written anything about, Bitcoin just, like there was an event of some sort. Now, we looked at this USD CAD and we had up regarding the news event, remember? The event-driven strategy showed 75% of the time when durable goods came out the way they came out. For some reason, USD CAD it has a scalp, and many of the other currencies didn't. Well, this shows the up arrow, which kind of confirms that. Now, you got to be careful because this is bearish, and I said that as well. Remember, before the news even came out, I'm like, well, it says up, but CAD's been strong for the last few days. I don't know if I want to even consider that. But nonetheless, that's what happens 75% of the time. And then this is the pattern. So it's not a buy signal, but it will show you the next leg of this downtrend would be up, which is interesting because that's what the news vol in the event-driven strategy suggests. But then if you were a wise technician, you'd use that as an opportunity to take this down, assuming that fits with your fundamental bias. Cool. So anyways, that's one way to check the news pretty quickly. So I'd love to see some risk on here. I'm not seeing it in treasuries, but let's take a look. And yeah, very modest open. This is pretty much a cold open. Yeah, cold open. Not a lot. Not a lot going on. Don't be too aggressive. And maybe scalp in the direction of your fundamental bias. Maybe. Okay, but good to know, right? Check the money market, and it's dropped below 4.0 again. We're really hanging on to that 4.0, huh? We need a sustained move below 4% on the 2-year. That would be good. We have it? Not quite yet. What about the options market? Well, again, about 2 days ago, was it? Yeah, Monday. We talked about being in the zone between 8 and 7 is an area of capitulation. And then there's our top of the market. So there could be a cooling off period, huh? Maybe. Now, this is analyzing 1 million options contracts. Just a million, though. I don't want to overdo it. I don't want to overdo it. Like, but that's the market is uh, absolutely bullish, relatively bullish, but we're getting to a point of maybe particularly being overbought, or at least a little bit, right? As 50 Cent would say. Let's go back to our scatter plot. Bitcoin was doing well. It was way up, and not so much now. Gave back some, huh? How are the stock markets doing on the open? Well, treasury yields are up. That's not good. Nikkei up, Russell up, Dow up. Oh, and look at Russell. Ooh. Russell used to be a -2 yesterday, and now it's a 0. Fundamentally a little more bullish. Now, every stock market in the world, well, at least these ones, all have a risk on skew. DAX is down, but it's got a 4. S&P 500's flat, but it's got a 5. FTSE is up a little bit. It's got a 4. Okay? Dow, 2. Nikkei, 1. Russell, 0. Okay? And Nassie's got the biggest of them all. It's got an 8, but it's down right now. It could be a buy the dip scenario. Who wants to look for a buy a dip scenario on the
Iran's
Nassie?
currency drops to a record low amid geopolitical uncertainty. Buffet raises gold price forecasts for 2025, 2026.
Well, let's take a look. Let's do a forecast. Let's predict the future based on what's happened in the past. There it is. Okay. So this is not doing technical analysis. It's doing statistical analysis. Best case, base case, worst case scenarios for bulls. So if you're observing an M4 in your face, then how do you translate that into price action? Okay? Or at the very least, the most conservative one would be like this until it breaks, right? That's your conservative. Yeah. But what if it goes through, Osamu? What if it goes through M4 and is right on its way to R2? Well, then it'll hit R2 and then pull back, and then it'll consolidate, and then maybe next week get to our target. Because remember, these are targets based on linear projections a week in advance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if we have an up day, okay, we're up to 21,292.401 next Wednesday. Best case scenario, statistically speaking. Is that fundamentals? No. Is that technicals? No. Now, the fundamentals do show bullishness for NASDAQ. Okay. And we know, we just looked at it, we got a big old 8. So you can be aggressive. Then you open your chart and you have to decide, is the M4 going to be respected? But you're a bull, so it's not going to reverse. How could you even think it's going to reverse if you're a bull? You're not a bull if you think it's going to reverse. You're not a bull if you're afraid. You're afraid because you don't have data to make a decision. Now, if you're aggressive, okay, then that's your projected future. Everybody else guesses. Everybody else guesses. Too bad for them, huh? Must be terrifying to trade when you don't know what you're doing. So like this, what do you think about the stock market? NASDAQ's an 8, S&P 500 is a 5, DAX is a 4, FTSE is a 4, Dow is a 2, Nikkei is a 1, and Russell's, ooh, did it just drop? Now it's a negative 1. Cool. Good to know, right? Yeah. That's how I feel. Actually, I don't feel at all. I know. That's what I know. Cool. So what about NASI? There's our linear projection. What else do we know? Somewhere between April and July, it goes up. Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Last night, the score on NASDAQ jumped 6. Huh. Yeah. Because the market is moving. We noticed that. Market is moving. A negative number to a positive number for a differential of 4. That's a massive move statistically. We're also entering into a very strong seasonal move. Everything is right as rain. But you got to use the tools, right? Everybody else guesses. They think. I think it'll go up. Uh-huh. People say, NASDAQ 25,000. How do you get to that? Cool. Trying to climb a mountain here on the hour. Go out to the 4Z.
Gold. Chinese life insurance companies become members of the exchange. TDS.
I'm going to move the kill zone to here. What do you stink? Smell like a plan? Cool. Hey, we just hit our target from our scalping. Remember way back here on Monday? We just hit our target. Look at right through the X. Oh, look at that. It's perfect. It's perfect. Cool. I had it coming down and rising. Guess what? It dropped like a ton of bricks and rose. Nice. And I have to put this on a higher time frame, right? There we are. So it did precisely what we thought it would. Nice. Now, I don't have pivot points on this. I have a leading, or let's say non-lagging moving average and a lagging moving average. One is a lagging 21 EMA and one's a non-lagging 21 EMA. Cool. Where does he get those wonderful toys? Yeah. Cool. So anyways, we're long and gone. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. It's far to the right because at the time we were nowhere near any of that. So I had to guess what the future would be like. And that guess is called technical analysis. Okay, cool. So I got that one. Nice. Yeah. Cool. It's really nice, huh? Double bottom, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. They're not Elliott wave counts, but they're used for Elliott wave counts. It's called a zigzag indicator. But yes, Elliott wavers use it. I was using it in training today because we do about 5 hours of training every day at traders.com. And I'm just showing you different methodologies to find support and resistance. If you see that easier, then great, right? For example, do you think I bought this because it's a double bottom? Well, of course. Well, what if you didn't know it was a double bottom? Maybe this is helpful for training, like training wheels. The thing is, it won't predict that it's going to double bottom. My brain can, but not a zigzag. No, it's after the fact. Then it'll draw it and like, hey, dude, you just got a double bottom. Well, in that case, what you could do, I mean, right, is like, okay, once it is drawing this down, now you know that there's a double bottom. So what I teach you in the training course is you do like a Fibonacci, and you look at the 382, 50%, 618, and that's your buy zone to go along. Oh, yeah. Okay. Does it always work? No, of course not. In fact, what I thought, let me show you being wrong. I thought this would happen. Okay. But it came all the way down. Uh-huh. Didn't know, didn't know that. Okay. So once in a while, you're going to take a loss. Keep your losses small. Yeah. Let your winners run. Okay. Right on, Green Bean. BWAP, BWAP, BWAP. Cool. I just use price action and pivot points. That's pretty much it. Some moving averages help, but they're all kind of the same. Fibonacci is great, but it's all kind of the same. If if I only had two things, price action and pivot points. Sometimes moving averages are helpful, but yeah, you don't need them. You don't have. Steve says, "Hey, does it have to make a higher high after the double bottom? We call that a 1-2-3. So if you're trading a 1-2-3, yes. Report: White House won't go all the way in terms of accounting for non-tariff barriers. So you have double bottom, and then the standard would be higher high, higher. Okay. One, double bottom. Two, higher high. Three, higher low. Okay. So you go one, two, wait for it. Three. Go, 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 go. Does anybody know the secret word to describe this? No, it comes from training. Sky Killer. He's like, yeah, yeah. There you go. Jim's got it. Denise has it. It means they've gone through the training and they remembered it. Yeah. See, if you don't remember, it never happened. Okay. People know this. It's like obvious. It's boring. It's kindergarten stuff, right? But the thing is, if you don't know these things, you're just going to get run over. Loaded like a freight train. Yeah. Yeah, it's a 1, 2, 3, of course. 1, 2, 3. But it's the training. Like if you can't recognize it, if you don't remember it, then none of it happened. The thing is, I've trained people and I use neuro linguistic programming to help people remember so that they can actually recognize it and then maybe actually do something about it. Well, no, the trick, in my humble opinion, is anticipating while it's falling that this is a place where it'll reverse. And then you are already waiting for a 1, 2, 3 hammock. Now, for those that hang with me every day, I did anticipate all of this weeks in advance. So I was like a sniper, okay, ambushing a market. It didn't even know what it was walking into. I had an unfair advantage, and that was TRADARS. Okay? Okay? Nothing's free, green bean. It's very, 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 very expensive. Okay? It's terribly, terribly expensive. Cool. Yeah, look at that. But this was planned weeks in advance. Not days, not hours, weeks. In fact, even months ago. Cool. So that means maybe this isn't a random walk. Oh, it's not a random walk. Do I know the future? I do not know the future, but I have a lot of statistics. Okay. And I like to gather the statistics. So, like, I'm doing some consultation work with professionals today, and I can tell you sector moves inside the S&P 500. What were the best years? What were the worst? Oh, 75% of the time the technology sector goes up in April? 75? 75% of the time, based on past performance, NASDAQ goes up in April. Does that shape the way that you look at the central pivot point? Maybe that's our support. Could be, right? Could be. At least get us back to a top. That's what the 55 says. All right, well, let's analyze this on a smaller time frame. Let's go into a 15-minute today. Okay? Oh, it's terrible. Oh, it's terrible. It's terrible. Yeah, let it drop a little more and buy it. Based on past performance, tech, not NASDAQ specifically, but the technology subcomponent or sector of the S&P 500. It's not the same, but let's just call it similar. Should you buy Cathie Wood's ARK? Should you buy NVIDIA? It'd be included in that kind of stuff. You know, like they're similar, right? Okay. Well, Green Bean, I'm somewhat of a quant. Yeah. I have a Harvard degree in macroeconomics. Yeah. Master's degree in financial management. I'm a little bit, I'm not quant, but I can talk to quants. I have the ability to have a decent conversation with quants. You know, my work at Oxford was for quants, right? Quantitative analytics. And all my professors were astrophysicists. Dude, Oxford is legit, dude. I mean, oh my God, I was impressed with Oxford. Oh my God. Uh, and yeah, it's hard to hang with astrophysicists studying the financial markets. You're like, okay, I'm not a quant compared to these guys. But I know what I know, if you know what I mean. Before I get too deep, what I am is what I am. What I am is not. Whatever that song is. So, anyways, look, this is falling. Yay! Okay. Check this out. It's falling. Oh, it's perfect because we're bulls. And we've already identified we're going to go long, Bubba. So now you do your technical analysis. All right, if you're going to connect, that's one. If you're going to connect moving averages, that's two. Maybe you want to do some biased daily bullish pivots, maybe. Okay. And all of it says, yeah, right around now. Right around now would be a good time for that drop to stop. Cool. Okay. So What does my economic research suggest for oil in the month of April? Oh, let's answer that question. Because I'm long oil. How the heck did I do that? Well, let's take a look. Okay. So somewhere around the end of March, I want to get long oil. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. So I was ready, willing, and able. All right. So I have that data, and then we can go here if you want and get a closer eyeball on it. Okay. Last year was a bloodbath, right? But most years we bottom out end of March, early April. U.S. dollar gently moves up while markets digest upbeat durable goods numbers. So let me project this. So we think this will happen in the future, don't we? Somewhere between May and June, or June and July, the market will top out, right? Cool. So I bought it. In this period. And now I know I can hold it for weeks. But let's do something completely different. So like I showed you, I'm doing some research on the subcomponents of the S&P 500, what we call sectors. And the biggest mover of all the sectors in the month of April to the upside, on average, is the energy sector. Wait, what? Energy stocks tend to go up during this period? Really? That's amazing. Why? Because oil prices almost always go up? See, if you don't know, how are you supposed to have an edge? How are you supposed to beat an institutional professional investor if you're amateur hour? It's just not going to happen. It's not even fair. Huh? Taking ice cream away from a little child. Get out of here, punk. Give me that. It's not even fair. Yeah, well, someone's got to put my kids through college, huh? I need 400,000 US dollars to send my children to university. And I don't have like a circus of children. Oh my God, right? Yeah. So, anyways, yeah. Materials 2.2. Huh? Consumer staples 1.2. Huh? Consumer discretionary 2.6. Industrial 1.6. You see, like you now, those are averages. But let's just think about, okay, what if it's not how much it goes up? Let's just say in the past, if you looked at 20 years of April's, and we look at how each component of the S&P 500 or sector of the S&P 500 goes up or down, okay? They all have good months to some degree. But what about just, does it go up or at all? Because you don't know if it's going to go up 1% or 3%. You don't know. We just know what's happened in the past. And I can tell you the best month, what year that occurred, the worst April, when did that occur? Okay, fine, 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 fine. But what about probability? Well, for each one of those, 60% chance of up, 75% chance of, well, I shouldn't say chance, frequency. 60% frequency up, 75% frequency up, 60% frequency up, 70% frequency up, 65% frequency up, 75% frequency up. Would you like to know which one's 60 and which one's 75? I know. Which one should you accumulate? Which one should you be neutral on? You have to have the data or you're random. Random, random. It's insane, huh? Okay. Oh, insane. It's only based on 20 years of monthly data for every subcomponent of the S&P 500. So now you can figure out not only is NASDAQ supposed to go up, you might be able to find out, well, or let's say S&P 500 goes up. Now you can even drop into buying or avoiding the subsectors inside the S&P 500 to get even better trades or investments. Now, I don't, again, it doesn't predict the future, but it does know the past. That's the thing. Past performance does not predict future results. But trading with amnesia doesn't seem to be a good idea to me. Cool.
United States EIA crude oil stocks change. 3.34 WMI, March 23rd versus previous 1.745 mid.
Australian dollar US dollar trades indecisively around 0.6300 after soft Aussie inflation data. OWTI crude now up $1 ahead of the release of weekly oil inventory data, near $70. So that might be good for me. I rule, I rule, I rule, I rule. Yeah, baby, yeah. Cool. Get it, get it, get up, get up. I'm going to have to mark this. Because we already had the price action move here. So now this is the next. Now, news has come out. I don't mind the news the way it came out, but news can change everything. Also, we're at a psych level, and there might be pivot points. There's all kinds of things. This is just me teaching and coaching price action principles. Huh? Like if you don't know this, you don't know how to trade. So that's why. Do 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 do. Bup, 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 bup. Yeah, probably Sky Killer. Yeah, cool. So if you're a scalper, get out. Huh? Buy the rumors, sell the news. Oil was already up, and then inventories came out. Out. Buy the rumor, sell the news. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I'll set it up for next week. All right. All right. Yeah, there's that Bitcoin, huh? Yeah, look at that drop. It was technical. Let's look at that. Well, if you're doing a trap and break, we're on the bottom side of the range. So if you were a bull, you would look for buying opportunities now in a smaller time. So I'll leave you with a thought on how to do that. Okay, and you just simply go to technicals. Open up that. Cool. And we want to go to Bitcoin long because we're at the bottom of the channel. You see? So only show me Bitcoin because that's the one I'm interested in my trap and break scenario. Okay. And so now I go to crypto. And yeah, there's some hope here. Down in Bitcoin will lead to up, is what this Gartley pattern is suggesting. Now it's only a pattern, but it recognizes the pattern forming. So this drop, and look at, let me zoom in so you can really see this. Remember, it's not a signal, it's just recognizing the pattern. It's supposed to drop to 86,806, okay, and then go long. All right. That was an hourly chart. Bitcoin on the 4-hour is a rising wedge that's bullish. And the next leg is up. That's an opportunity on our way to basically 90. So both of these things, this came out yesterday. So you're slow as molasses if you're just setting it up now. Look where it showed you support was. Right here. Nice. Now we should be on our way to 90. Very nice. It's kind of cool, right? That's how you do it. So 86,800. Okay. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. 86,800. That's pretty much where I have this drawn. So now you wait. And then we call that a trap and break. So if you're a bull, you're thinking this. How long will this range continue? Fed's Kashkari. Policy uncertainty is complicating the Fed's job. EIA weekly crude oil inventees. 3341K versus 956K expected. How long will that move sideways? What do I teach you? Thank you. Forever and ever, and ever and ever and ever, and ever and ever and ever and ever, forever. This will move sideways forever until it breaks. So the reason if you're a bull, you buy at the bottom is you never know if it'll break, but you have two places where you're allowed to buy. You're allowed to buy at support, or you're allowed to buy at support. You're like, Wayne, you made a mistake. You said support twice. No, I didn't make a mistake. You made a mistake. No. Okay? That's support, and that is support. Okay? So let's connect them. Let's connect the knots. There we go. Dope! Huh? Oh my God. All right, so I'm going to work on it. So you guys want to sign up for TRADARS, hook up your trading account so we can handle the execution. And for that, you will be happy with a decent discount. So if you trade 2 or 3 mini lots a day, you don't have to worry about hitting a high volume. You will get a discount as a reward for hooking up into our execution. Does that sound right? Is that what you guys want? You would have to open a new account, Sky Killer, because uh, uh, everything is different and unique specifically for this program. So, Sky Killer, let me say it again. If you only trade 2 or 3, I think a discount's easier because I'm afraid, I'm terrified that someone with not a lot of experience and not a lot of money will overtrade their account just to get the discount. Now, I don't think that way, but everybody's different. And I could see it happening, and I've heard some comments. So I'm like, well, I don't want that. I am not incentivizing you to trade more. If that is the part of your brain that lights up, you're forgetting the other 20 years of my teaching. So I think I'd do it that way. I'll give you a reward, be part of the crew. You get a special price, a special discount. You made a long-term commitment, but you're just not a big trader yet. You're still learning. Your account's still small. Great. I don't want someone with a small account over leveraging. Cool. No, Jim, I don't think that's going to work. No, you have to go through the form. And that, in many cases, well, I believe, I'm still trying to get clarification on this, but that requires opening a new back office. I don't know. That would be great. I don't know. So I'm trying to get clarification on that. Okay. But don't tell people that yet. I need confirmation. Yeah. So, anyways, that's cool. It's all good in the hood. So maybe I'll do it that way. So I'll put some gray matter on that process to actually how to do it is a bigger a bigger challenge than one might imagine. Okay. Cool. All right. Well, I think we worked that out. Thank you for negotiating with me in a live stream on YouTube. I think that makes a lot of sense. I feel comfortable with that. Right? This will avoid
Euro
young
US dollar
young
faces
traders
pressure on
overtrading.
ECB dovish bets. Trump tariff fears.
US dollar Canadian dollar breaks key support zone as sellers eye 100-day moving average breakdown next. Cool. And we have a headline update coming out in a couple of minutes, so I'll let that run. And then, oh, actually, you know what? Let me give this to you. This is probably a better solution. YouTube.com/TRADARS. So this is great because, like again, yesterday, I was working on non-trading stuff. And while I was working, I had my cell phone sitting right next to me, on my armrest, actually, just sitting there. Right? So imagine your cell phone sitting on your desk or something. And I could hear the news. I sat outside for hours. I was outside working, and I was out there for hours, and I constantly was fed the news. I didn't have to look at my phone or turn my phone on or anything. So I have like YouTube Premium. So even with my phone kind of off, if you will, with the screen off, I'm listening to the news as I'm working. Just every time something pops up, it would read it to me. How cool is that? So I'm running this on YouTube for free. It costs me a lot of money. There are a lot of paid services that would charge you 100, 200, 300. I think Trade the News was about 400 a month. Yeah. I worked with Trade the News for more than 10 years. And so now I have something similar. I'm paying real money for it. Developers worked on it yesterday. We had to tinker with the server yesterday. Developers, servers, these voices, the news feeds, all of this costs money. And it's running on the YouTube channel for free. But it cost me real money, like legit money. I could lease a very, very, very nice car. Yeah, for what I spend to give this away. I could go lease a Porsche. So please use it.
Fed's Kashkari. This is the most dramatic shift in sentiment outside of the COVID era. Euro-US dollar faces pressure on ECB dovish bets, Trump tariff fears.
Here it is. U.S. dollar, Canadian dollar breaks key support zone as sellers eye 100. Please give it a like. I'd appreciate that. It's been running for 19 hours, no problems. We've had to do some upgrades and some development work. We had to install some hardware. Cool. But it's live. So please use it. I'd like it if 50 people, 100 people, 1,000 people are just sitting here listening to the news while they trade. You just launch this page. 100 Aussie inflation data. It's always live. OWTI crude now. Okay. So you have it running. So like this. What? $1 ahead of the release of weekly oil inventory data. Now you go through your trade. Nears $70. U.S. dollar gently moves up while markets digest upbeat durable goods numbers. Report, White House won't go all the way in terms of accounting for non-tariff barriers. See, now you can just go through your trading listening to the news as it comes in live. I built it for you. Please use it. Compliments of the firm. And by the firm, I mean me. Comes directly out of my children's pockets. Yeah. The money needs to go somewhere. So in this case, I'm investing into you. Please use it. Please enjoy it. Please benefit from it. Have a wonderful trading day, and I will see you tomorrow.